Trump's BLS firing sparks credibility crisis in jobs data. Here's a political move that's sparking heated debate. What happens when a president fires a top statistics officer after a jobs report falls short of expectations? Let's unpack the fallout from this unprecedented moment. President Trump's recent decision to oust the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLS, following a disappointing July jobs report has stirred controversy. But here's where it gets murkier. The real pressure now falls on officials like Labor Secretary Lori Chavez-DeRemer to defend this actions, even as May and June job numbers were revised downward. Talk about navigating a minefield. At first, Chavez-DeRemer downplayed the revised figures. In a Bloomberg TV interview, she emphasized positive job growth, despite the corrections. Critics might call this semantic gymnastics. After all, if May and June's numbers dropped, the word positive here feels like a stretch. But then reality hit. The BLS director, who directly reports to Chavez-DeRemer, got the boot. Suddenly, she issued a tweet aligning entirely with Trump's claim that the numbers were rigged and politically manipulated. Wait a second. Let's unpack this 180-degree turn. In the morning, she's talking positive growth with revised numbers. By afternoon, she's declaring the data unreliable. The question every statistician and citizen should ask, were the jobs figures legitimate before the firing, or only became suspect after the BLS leadership was replaced? This inconsistency raises a bigger issue. Can public officials maintain credibility when their messaging shifts dramatically to align with political agendas? Here's the kicker. This is more than a partisan squabble. Neutral data like jobs reports form the backbone of economic policy. If these numbers become weaponized, how can businesses, investors, or everyday workers trust them? The move smacks of the same politicization of institutions we've seen in other areas. Think climate science, election results, or public health data. But here's where it gets even more problematic. Chavez-DeRemer's rapid pillar shift from positive growth to rigged data suggests either 1. A deep misunderstanding of how unemployment statistics work, or 2. A prioritization of political loyalty over factual accuracy. For someone tasked with upholding labor and data integrity, this flip-flop undermines both. Imagine if the head of NASA suddenly claimed satellites work only when specific politicians are in office. Would anyone trust their findings? The same principle applies here. Now, the question for you, is it fair to expect public officials to shift their stance to support political agendas, or does this undermine trust in vital data? Should nonpartisan agencies like the BLS ever become battlegrounds for political rewards? Drop your thoughts below. Copyright details and additional elements adapted into plain text as per request. Trump's controversial firing of labor statistics chief, what it means for the economy. The controversial firing of BLS Commissioner Erica McIntarfer by President Trump has sparked criticism from former BLS commissioners, nonpartisan economic groups, and Republican senators. Trump's unsubstantiated claims of data manipulation and political bias have raised concerns about the integrity of federal economic statistics. The Friends of BLS, Association of Public Data Users, and other organizations have called for Congress to investigate the removal of McIntarfer and uphold the nonpartisan nature of the position. The firing has been denounced as setting a dangerous precedent that undermines the Bureau's statistical mission. The importance of accurate data in a functioning democracy has been emphasized by former BLS commissioners, highlighting the critical role of economic data in decision-making. A controversy surrounding McIntarfer's dismissal has drawn attention to the need for transparency and integrity in economic reporting, with calls